If I'm a customer and I want to do everything I can, knowing that there is no guarantees in life, right? If I want to do everything that I can, what are, like, let's say, the top five recommendations that you would make for any customer that wants to do as much as they can to try to protect against something like this?
Well, I think first, number one in my book is empower your staff, right? You need to have on in your staff, in your IT staff, and potentially and hopefully either that person's or people are tied into the business as well, or somebody specifically on the business side that has their eye um, on security and is working closely with the business to understand the risk that to the business, right? Because if we can't, it's impossible now to cover every system, every piece of data. It's really important that organizations have someone that's part of their organization that understands what we call where the crown jewels are, right? Um, Everybody thinks in an organization that the system that they need to run their part of the business is the most important. But a lot of times, there's only a few systems that are really needed to generate and recover revenue. And having that real deep understanding from a cybersecurity professional is super is a key point, right, to being prepared.
So if I'm for that part of the answer, if I'm hearing you correctly, I mean, first and foremost, I feel like this kind of goes along the lines of developing like a proper like BCDR plan, right? So I need to know what is most critical, make sure that I've tested those systems, make sure that I have that stuff in place, and know what I can sustain and what I can't. So that's kind of what I'm getting out of that. What are your thoughts on the topic, Keith?
So for me, from a compliance and governance perspective, it's really integrating information security into your risk management process and your business risk management process, defining what your business's risk tolerance is to help inform your policy and procedure for your technical controls, your administrative controls, and the technologies that you're going to employ, because every organization is different from an information security perspective. Manufacturing is quite a bit different than healthcare and financial. So depending on your industry, your business specifically, you need to determine what your risk tolerance is and how you intend to protect your crown jewels.
Pekarsky, what do you have?
Kind of an extension of both of those things. I feel like nothing exists until it's tested. So you can have all the policies and procedures you want. You can have all the backups that you want. But if you don't test what the policy is to respond to an event, what the turnaround time is for restoring those crown jewels, I mean, you need to know what they are. But if you're backing up and restoring from tape and that process takes you a month, what's the point of having backups? So that needs to be tested often. And I think the other part is now your backups are part of those crown jewels. If they encrypt all of your data and then they encrypt all of your backups, you're no better off than you were before. So when you're storing your backups, you have to make sure that those are stored securely as well.
And to elaborate on that too, a key point that is missed a lot, and I think is majorly important in today's sphere, is configurations. The configurations of the systems and the tools that operate your infrastructure. Virtual Center is a good example, right? Recovering Virtual Center after being, from a ransomware attack, for instance, it would be a challenge. It would be one of the first things that you want to bring up, right? So, but do you really need all the data from vCenter that's rolled up in your SQL database as part of the restore? What you need is all the folder structures and the permissions and those configurations. Those things can be saved and managed in a separate way, where recovering your infrastructure, your network devices, your hypervisors, and those core pieces, that can be as simple as running an Ansible script, right? If you're prepared for an automated deployment script, to not use nerd terms. It's not, so it's not just the data. Is the point I want to make, right? It's everything in between.
So